Meet our stickman. He's lying in bed, alarm buzzing beside him, waiting for that spark of motivation to finally show up before he moves. He grabs his phone and watches a hype video. For a moment, energy rushes in. He feels unstoppable, ready to conquer the whole day ahead. But minutes later, that spark fizzles out. He slumps back onto the pillow, confused. Why does the feeling never seem to stick around for long? This isn't new. He remembers countless mornings when motivation vanished, right when he needed it most, leaving him stuck exactly where he started. Slowly, a new thought creeps in. Maybe, just maybe, motivation was never the real answer he'd been searching for all along. Later that day, he sits at his desk, a light bulb glowing above his head. He's determined to finally understand what's really going on. In his mind, he pictures motivation as a wave, rising high, then crashing low, completely unpredictable, impossible to count on. He realizes motivation is just a feeling. It depends on mood, sleep, even the weather outside. Feelings are never steady or reliable. If feelings keep changing, then anything built only on feelings is standing on very shaky, unstable ground the whole time. He nods slowly. Now he understands why he keeps starting over, chasing a feeling instead of building something solid. Across the desk, he imagines another version of himself, calm, composed, and quietly focused, completely unlike his usual self. This version doesn't wait to feel ready. They simply sit down and begin the task, no matter how they feel. Our stickman leans in, arms crossed, watching closely. What exactly makes this calm approach so different from his own? He notices something important. This version relies on small daily systems, not big, occasional bursts of energy or excitement. Systems never ask, do I feel like it today? They simply repeat quietly, faithfully, day after day after day. Inspired, our stickman grabs a notebook and pen. It's time to build his very own simple, repeatable system. He writes a short daily checklist, small, doable actions instead of huge, overwhelming goals that feel impossible to start. That night, he sets up his workspace early, clearing away friction so tomorrow's version of himself has an easier start. He places his running shoes right by the door, making the action he wants simply the easiest one available. He smiles, realizing something simple. Discipline isn't about willpower, it's about designing an easier path forward. Morning arrives, and today he feels absolutely nothing. No spark, no motivation, no excitement waiting to greet him. Instead of waiting around, he opens his checklist and starts the very first small step, regardless of how he feels. He sits down calmly and begins working, quiet and steady, letting his feelings simply come along for the ride. A wave of boredom hits partway through. He doesn't fight it, doesn't stop. He simply moves to the next task. Slowly, without even noticing, real momentum begins building underneath. One small, unremarkable action stacking onto the next. Later, his phone buzzes loudly with a notification, pulling at his attention, tempting him to stop everything and check. For a brief moment, he almost gives in. His hand hovers close, hesitating right above the glowing screen. Then he remembers his system. Calmly, he turns the phone face down again and returns to his work. A tough, uncomfortable moment passes quietly. He checks another small item off his growing daily list. This right here is discipline in action, showing up fully even when motivation has completely disappeared. Days pass by in his mind, shown as a tall, growing stack of completed checklists piling upward. He stands back for a moment, looking at everything steady, unglamorous effort has quietly built over time. He realizes success was never about big motivational highs. It was always about small, consistent, boring action. Standing tall now, calm and proud, he finally lets go of ever needing motivation again. The lesson is simple: build real systems, trust the quiet process, and let genuine results follow naturally.